It was a really hard-fought game. I thought our guys went toe-to-toe with a really good team. And, when the calls, get overturned and don't go your way, you lose a little bit of momentum in there. But proud of my guys in fighting and continue to try to get better. But that's exactly what we need to do. We need to coach better. We need to get better, and we need to execute and make plays. Go ahead.
Again, tremendous effort, but it also seemed like that there were just against some untimely penalties and drops and a lot of sacks too, right? What happened?
Yeah, untimely penalties. Those are things that are guys are trying to make plays and guys are trying to do good things. It's they're costly. There's we think we're going to get a fumble, and there must have been some really good evidence to overturn that one. But that's a tough break, as we're still in there 13-7, and stop them right there and think we're going to get the ball on the 6-yard line or 8-yard line or wherever that is, and it doesn't go your way, and so now you got to answer the call again. Okay, so pretty tough. And then with the sacks, I just got to go look at it, okay, and see if there's throws to be made, if there's protections to be made, there's routes to be ran, those type of things, and so we'll go look at that and see if we can get those fixed.
Hey, Coach. Genty in the end got his numbers, but how did you feel like you guys did defending him tonight?
Yeah, I think over time, I think for sure that it was hard fought runs by him as we try to put all 11 bodies on him, and a great player. Again, I'm proud. I'm proud of our guys because I think they answered the call to stop a great team and a great player in respect. But I thought our guys did really well. It's just at the end it gets away a little bit, but they fought really hard.
Brayden had 8 sacks. Just talk about what caused the protection and whatnot, and just when you look at the film, just what do you think has to change?
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, and so it's going to be a combination. Usually the sacks come a combination of protection, route reading, and reads from the quarterback, and so we'll go back and look at the film.
Coach, just kind of looking ahead, any type of silver lining that you guys can look towards as you guys move through the rest of the season, obviously going on the road next week to a pretty hostile environment?
Yeah, it's the silver lining is there's some spots that we're really good at, and there's spots that we have to be better at. I challenge some of those guys that in their individual areas, when they get the call in week 6, they got to be better. Guys have to play better, okay? And it's a team game. All 11 guys got to play, but when guys have to get and do their job, we're counting on them to do their job. We're all counting on them. The team's counting on them. The guys on the sideline, this university and the state, and then we know what's at stake. You know what I mean? And so this whole state's counting on guys to make plays and do their deal. You know what I mean? And I challenge those guys, man. Your week's got to be better. Challenge them. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every choice that they make has to be, better. And so, we're gonna grow from it. We're gonna watch them respond, and then we'll understand what type of team we are.
Timmy, traditionally, Boise has always been a deep team with a lot of different weapons, and it seems like now they're like that, but they have a superstar as well. So when you say, you try to have 11 on focusing on Genty, then they have some pretty good complementary guys too who did some damage too, yeah.
Yeah, they're a good team. I mean, there's a reason why they're they're at where they're at. They're ranked where they're ranked. They're the top of the class in the conference. They go toe to toe with Oregon. And so when we're watching the film, we know who they are, and they're really and they have some guys that can play. I thought our guys played really well. Really well, and we hung in there until the end, and that's where we hope to be better.
What are the adjustments like during the week, knowing you didn't have Sibo and also Crowders was out, and then losing Peter and Ezra during the game?
Yeah, tough losses. I mean, you're talking about starters. You're talking about guys. You're talking about guys that are impact players for us, and when they go down, the next man's up, and so it's why I challenge. It's why I challenge the guys. That's going to happen. Your number's going to get called, and the question is, you got to be. Are you going to be ready? Are you going to be ready to answer the call?
What's the update on Peter?
Everything came back negative. So they took him to the hospital, and it looked like everything came back negative. So we'll see. I haven't gotten to talk to him yet.
Coach, how do you, keep these guys motivated after playing in so many games that, could have gone either way, and today was another one of those?
Yeah, it's part of it. It's part of it. And here's the thing, man. I mean, when we sit in here and we sit in this exact room, I mean, we're talking about life. We talk about life more than anything, right? This football is just a little microcosm and it's small compared to the real game of life. And so, I told those guys, right, there's another call. Another call doesn't go our way. You know what I mean? And, things don't go your way all the time. But it's how you fight back. It's how you bounce back from adversity. That's all the things that matter. It's the same thing that everybody sitting in this room deals with, adversity. And how you respond to that is what makes you who you are, right? These guys are not defined. And I told them before the half, I said, we're not defined by wins and losses. That doesn't define you as a man. What defines you as a man is how you carry your business and what you do and the person that you are. Love them boys, man. I love them boys, but how we go back to work, we challenge them, and they're going to be down, right? They're going to be down, but then this is where you find out, who's in. Yeah, who's in? Yeah, who wants to represent Hawaii? Who wants to represent Hawaii football? And so, if you have any of those guys, you quickly, immediately get rid of them.
Hey, Coach, in addition to some of the other guys who took hits tonight, Pafele, I think, took a hard one early on. Did that limit his availability as the game went?
Yes. Yeah. It did. It's one that we don't know. It was a targeting call that I think wasn't called at first, and I was ready to challenge it regardless of what happened. But Pafele, is just he's tough. He wants to play, but I think losing him, that's another key guy that went down late in the fourth quarter, third quarter.
Yeah, I see. He ended up being targeted only 4 times, and I know he's had many more than that typically for you guys. So how much did that change offense?
I know Brayden feels really comfortable with Pafele, and so that changes some of it when you got your number one target out, and so it's a big loss, and so we're gonna see where he's at and see what we can do before Washington State.
A lot of you guys played really tough and everything, but what was first like first losing Ezra and then also trying to tackle Genty?
Yeah, it's tough losing our teammates, 2 starters. But, we have a next man up mentality. We don't feel that there's much fall off. Great players, we love them, care for them. We know that they're game changers, of course. But, we have to be able to count on the next man no matter the situation. So everybody has to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And, we just counted on that. When it came to, tackling him, we all just had to do our jobs. And when we did our jobs, we were in the right places, making the right plays at the right time. So, yes, sir.
You guys played pretty good ball on for most of the night. You see that fumble late in the second half there. Feel like you take that momentum swing and then have to go immediately right back onto the field after it gets overturned. How difficult mentally is it to get back in there after feeling like you make such a big play?
Stay ready. You don't have to get ready. We were expecting to go out back on the field. Whether we didn't know what the outcome was. We were hoping for the recovery, of course, from us, but it didn't fall that way. So we were ready to go, get back on that field, and try and make something happen. We like to be on that field. That's why we play this game. So we're not going to complain and cry about it when we can go out there and try and do something about it.
Hey, Elijah, how did Genty present in reality as you're going up against him there in the trenches versus what you saw on film? And did he surprise you at all? Was it stuff you had prepared for or expected?
He's a great player. He made his plays, but, we went into this game knowing that as long as we do our jobs and we are where we're supposed to be as a collective, that, we're untouched. We'll get it done. We'll make it happen. And that's what we did when, we were in the right places at the right time.
The vibe I get from you is that this is one loss. It's a tough loss, but you've still got a lot more season. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir. We have 6 more games. We're going to win out. That's what it is. Just the faith in this team, in this locker room that we have, just in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Luke 1:37 tells us, "For nothing is impossible with God." And we have all that faith in the world, and we know that we're going to come out on top and make it happen.
I know you don't like to talk about moral victories or anything like that, but it seemed like going against the 17th ranked team in the country and a few plays here and there, it just seemed like that was a pretty courageous battle, right?
Hung with them, but I've had a lot of those games in my career, so it's just tiring to continue to talk about it.
Brayden, you guys hang in there for a long stretch of the game, but it seems like when you had momentum, penalties or sacks, I mean, do you feel like at this point we just, is there anything that changed? You've left too many points off, on the field. I mean, is that frustration?
Yeah, no, you're right. We continue to leave a lot of points on the field, and I'm gonna come up here and say it's my fault every time, but at the end of the day, we got to have guys step up, and we got to win man coverage. We got to, I got to get protected, and I got to make those plays. But I'm going to continue to challenge those guys in the room, and look yourself in the mirror, and see how you want to finish these last 6 games. Because I need some dogs in there, and I think we need a mindset switch, and you need to play you need to play harder.
This is kind of, I guess, a little more specific, but similar to the previous question, but more specific to the red zone. A lot of people talk about passing offenses, but make it a little more difficult because it feels compressed. But I know you don't want to make excuses, but do you think maybe you guys got to, maybe you just got to take it in a little bit more, or?
Yeah, no, I think you can continue to play the what-if game, in the red zone, and you're always going to look back at it and be like, dang, we could have done this or we could have done that, but at the end of the day, we just didn't execute as a unit, as an offense, and that's been the story for a long time now, so it's very frustrating.
Seems like you were able to be in the pocket just a little bit longer, just to follow your reads and to follow just the receivers and what they were doing route-wise. Just what you felt as far as what you were looking at as far as just the route running today and protection.
Yeah, I am a pro-style quarterback, and I want to stay in the pocket, and unfortunately there's a lot of times when I have to run the ball, and honestly I don't even want to do that. I want to throw the ball, and I want to stay in the pocket, and I think when I stay in the pocket and am able to, go through my reads, I think I'm very good. So it's just something that we got to continue as a group to get better about, and I'm not going to sit, I'm going to sit here and take the fault every single week, but at the end of the day we got to get better as a group.
Hey, Brayden, Plafeli took a pretty hard hit early on and wasn't available for you guys for stretches or much of the game, I think. How did you just adjust with, the weapons you had available, and I know he's one of your favorite targets.
Yeah, it's tough losing a guy like that, especially when all they want to do is just play man coverage and blitz 6 people. Just got to have somebody that can win, and obviously he can do that, and he's proven it. And we're just going to have to continue to practice harder and push those guys in the receiver room to step up and make some plays for us as a group.